Hello, hello, my friends. AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Welcome back to my face and my card making space and some watercolor. I'm using some of Altenew's January 2026 release. I'll have a link to the release in the description box below the video. I'm planning on having this video go up the day of the release. It's like future me dealing with editing and all things. So this video is going up. Stay tuned. It'll be tomorrow. So tomorrow I'll have another video using other products from this release. I'll be part of a video hop. So lots of content, lots of inspirational things. So that'll be tomorrow. Today, I am focusing on one of the floral sets, specifically the Build-A-Garden, and I pulled out. I haven't even bothered to put it away. One of the newer watercolor compacts. I think these came out in the last, like the December release, something. I've done several videos, couple live streams, etc. using these little watercolor compacts. They're fun. So anyway, gonna do that. Adding texture with a press plate because I love press plates, and yeah, fun things. So everything I use will be listed and linked in the description box below the video. My links are affiliate links. That just means that if you click on one of my links and end up placing an order, I do get a little kickback from that at no extra cost to you. That is what helps pay the bills, keeps the lights on, keeps my heaters running, enables me to keep bringing out content. And yeah, let's get into making the card. So I'm using the Happy Blossoms Build-A-Garden set. And this set has a layering stencil set, so you do not need to do like watercolor if that's not your thing, etc. I was in a watercolor mood. And then there also is a coordinating die set for this. So I'm using the stamp set and the coordinating die set. And this part I'm pretending because I had like done all my stamping, added the embossing powder, everything, and then realized I wasn't filming, because I am such a professional. So I'm reenacting what I did. Y'all. Anyway, I used Altenew's hot press watercolor paper, anti-static powder tool, stamped this floral image with clear embossing ink, coated it with gold embossing powder, melted it with my heat tool. And you can't go wrong with gold embossing. It just makes me happy. I love it. I love it so much. So once it was heat embossed, I'm using the Deep Muse watercolor palette. I have been just like fixating on this palette. I've done several videos, and this sort of color combo, this sort of dusty rose and almost burgundy shade and the greens, etc. I just right now cannot get enough of it. Can't get enough of it. Even though I was trying somewhat to break away with it, I still just went right back to it when I was painting these. So the only thing I don't have a link for, this specific little like palette I'm working on, this little enamel coated pan. I mentioned it in a previous video when I was using this palette. I've had this pan forever. Found it in a drawer. I bought it years ago. But any non-porous surface will work, Altenew's petal palette, etc. It just gives me a surface to mix color on. And yeah, I mixed a couple of the colors, specifically the lilac burgundy that I just refer to as Ron Burgundy. If you watch my live streams, you understand. Anyway, mix that with the golden ochre and then got to coloring. So since this image has been heat embossed, I've got all those nice raised edges all around everything. My little bumper pads that kind of keep everything a little more contained. And love that because then I can do more at once. I don't have to worry about one area bleeding into the other. It's also nice, especially when I do like metallic embossing like this. So I've got just that shiny raised gold image. And yeah, all I'm doing is wetting each area. I have sped this up in editing and now it's like super sped up. I don't move this quickly. But all I'm doing is I wet the area with clean water. And then I drop in my color, which is kind of that center area that's kind of the sort of peachy shade. And then I also drop in a bit of that more burgundy shade, the lilac burgundy, right at the base where the flower center is. And because each area is already wet, the color, as you can see, just immediately moves and starts to move out. And I just go back in with my clean, damp brush and sort of blend it all together a little bit more, pull the color out a smidge more, and then go on to the next one. And that's it. So I did that for all of the florals, that little combo. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing with the greenery, but instead I'm going to mix the green from the palette, the mossy oak. I'm going to mix that. I'm going to like put some on my palette, aka just re-wet what was already there from the last time. So I've got the mossy oak. I'm going to add a bit of the golden ochre, so just to create a bit of a lighter shade. And I'm also going to add the brown shade from the palette, the umber. And I'm going to do the same thing. I wet each leaf. I put the middle part, the lightest shade there, down. And then I add the green and then just a little bit of the brown. And then I pull it out with my slightly clean brush and just repeat over and over again. And with the leaves, I keep the color more sort of towards the base of the leaf, but also up like the spine of the leaf, as you can see. And then just drop in just a smidge of those darker shades, the darker green, the darker brown, and then pull it out with my slightly damp brush and repeat. And yeah, this was just satisfying. But if watercolor is not your thing, or just coloring in general, that's where those layering stencils, can work their magic. So I love the layering stencils, but I also love to color. So it just depends on my mood. So when it was dry, I die cut it with the coordinating wafer die. And then to create some texture, I pulled out the fine wood grain press plate because, I love it. I love all the press plates. And in fact, the video coming tomorrow uses another press plate from Altenew to do the same thing because I love embossing with them. So I showed on screen there the sandwich I use with my Empress machine and press plates to emboss with them. And it just creates fabulous texture. You can also do this with wafer dies, this same like sandwich. It just depends on the type of wafer die, the pattern, etc. Or you could use embossing folders, whatever works. This wood grain press plate I've used many, many times in many videos, and I love it. I love it. So I pressed it onto some white cardstock, and I pressed it onto some sandy blush cardstock. Both of these panels are A2 sized. With the white, I'm trimming off just that top portion. That's all I needed. So the rest of it, I'm actually just going to save with the wood grain press plate to use on a future project. And yeah, it's going to have a little bit of pattern. And then the floral is going to kind of conceal where the white cardstock meets the sandy blush cardstock. So I glued those together. And then I'm going to pop that floral right on top, just like so. And, towards the end, and then even in my photos, it's kind of hard to see the wood grain pattern on that white cardstock, but it's there. Okay, trust me, it's there. You can see it in real life. My photos were just not doing it justice. So after I glued it, let everything sit for a minute, and then I just trimmed the few little bits that were hanging over the edges. And then of course I'm going to add splatter. So I'm just using the Altenew metallic watercolor palette, and I'd already put some water into that gold pan, and I'd let it sit for a few minutes just to kind of soften things up a bit, and then mix it up with my brush. And I'm just going to put some on an acrylic block. Usually I use my other little palette for this, and I couldn't find it. It's under a pile of 5 million other things. Anyway, just put some down, and then I took my little trusty fan brush and added just a bit of gold splatter. I didn't go too crazy. In my world, this is a very subtle amount. And then after I added that, I wiped off my little block, cleaned off my brush, and then I'm going to add a bit of white gouache. Just a smidge. Add some water to that, mix it up, and then add some white splatter. Again, adds a bit of texture, a little bit of interest, and for me, this is subtle. I did think about adding black splatter as well, but I was liking the very soft look. That isn't even what I was aiming for when I started this project, but I really do love just the soft look of it all. So I didn't do the black splatter, but it'll happen again very soon. Anyway, set that aside. my card base is a top folding A2 white note card, 4 1/4, 5.5 inches. I put that into my stamp wheel, and then I took the floral image, and I'm going to line up in the same orientation. I'm going to have it on the front of the card. So got that lined up, and then I just put a piece of like Post-it tape right where the score line is, so I don't stamp past that score line. And then I'm just going to ink this up with blush ink. There is a sandy blush ink cube that Altenew has. I assume it was probably part of like a retreat or a kit or something. So I'm holding out. I'm hoping that it'll eventually get released, you know, in another quad of inks. We shall just see. But this worked. I just needed something light. So I just used blush, fresh dye ink, stamped that floral on the inside. And then I took one of the sentiments from the Happy Blossom set and got that all lined up. And then that I'm going to stamp onto the inside with Obsidian pigment ink. So ink that up, stamp that on the inside, stick that piece of Post-it tape back to my die cut machine because I keep reusing it until there's nothing left. And then adhere my card front to the card base. So this will just completely cover my card base. And then that heat emboss sentiment is also from the Happy Blossom set. I just white heat embossed it onto a couple scrap, like a scrap of velvet cardstock. Die cut it with the coordinating wafer die, and then die cut a couple more scraps with that wafer die and adhering them together just to build a little extra dimension. And then once I've got all those adhered together, I'll stick this to my card front. And then my final little embellishment, I pulled out the light gold pearl dots, which are self-adhesive. So we just got to peel and stick, which is always so convenient. So I'm going to stick a few of these to this card. And then once I've got those pressed into place, this card is complete. So, like I mentioned in the intro, I'll have links to the release, to all the supplies I use, etc., etc. All of that will be in the description box below the video. I'll also post a link. I keep forgetting. I am doing a bonus live as part of a class. I'll have that link to the class because it uses other elements from this release. I'll have that in the description box below as well, because there's still time to sign up for that if you're interested, want to check it out, what have you. So that'll be linked below as well. That's later this month. So that is it from me for the moment. I'll be back again tomorrow with another video. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me, for thumbs upping and commenting. I appreciate it. And I'll see you very soon in the next one. Bye. Thank you so much to my amazing Patreon supporters. For anyone that might be interested in joining my Patreon community and supporting me, the link to my Patreon is in the description box below the video. For everyone else, as always, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't, I'd love to have you. And here's a couple other videos for you to check out in case you missed them. Bye!